going on, guys? Lawson Turner back with another episode of the Cover 2 podcast, as always. And we didn't upload yesterday, so we got 3 uploads today. We're going to start with the game, the first game of Tuesday night's game ones between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's dive straight into it. Boston did what everyone's going to assume Boston would do through the first 2 rounds. They looked damn near unbeatable. When you have a team that is as talented as Boston's starting five is, it's going to be really hard to beat, even without Porzingis. Like we saw everyone do their roles almost to a T besides Jason Tatum. Like Jaylen Brown, 32 points. Derek White, who's been on a heater this whole playoffs, is my favorite Celtic. 25 points, 5 assists, 7 threes. Outstanding. Drew Holiday, only 14.6 rebounds, but you don't really, make the trade for Drew Holiday for scoring or rebounding. You do it for his two-way ability. And they were just kind of beating the brakes off the Cavs from, not from start to finish, because we did see the Cavs with a early 2-point lead. They were they were trailing from not opening tip, but they went on a 13-4 run early on in the first quarter from the 9:15 point to the 7:02 point in the first quarter. I was like, okay, if my thing with the Cavs, they don't have enough offense. Like the second Donovan Mitchell leaves the floor, who's your scorer? Who's your scorer? Who's your facilitator? And as good as Darius Garland has been, for stretches in the regular season, the postseason, I thought he's played okay. Like 14 points, 5 assists, not good, not great. I mean, he's gonna need to shoot better. 6 of 15 from the floor, 2 for 8 from three. The thing for me is, like I said, when Donovan leaves the court, where's your offense? And the biggest question mark for me for Boston, I don't know how long they can probably skid through this series and Jason Tatum keep playing like shit, because that's what he's been playing like. He's been playing bad. Like the Celtics haven't had that Jason Tatum game, and we know he's skilled out the yin yang. We know that he is in the, for the majority of people, he is in the, at the very best he's fifth or sixth, and at worst case scenario he's 10 or to 12. He's in that 6 to 12 range when it comes to players in the NBA in today's game. But we saw on Tuesday 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. 7 for 19, 0 for 5 from 3. Like, he's just playing bad. He's just flat out playing bad. And he's being not carry's not the wrong word, or not the right word, I should say. But it's like he's so benefiting from the supporting talent around him, and there's nothing wrong with it because that's just how it is. Boston has a really good starting five, and they go, 6, 7 deep. When Porzingis is in there, they can bring Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard off the bench, and Luke Cornett gave him 21 strong minutes on Tuesday. But it's like they're just beating the brakes off of everybody, and it's not like they're shooting a ton of free throws. Like they shot 14 and made 12 of them. And the Cavs shot 13 and made 10 of them. So it's like, what's the big discrepancy? It's the three ball. Boston was 18 for 46 from three. That's 39.1%. And the Cavs were 11 for 42. And for the math heads out there, that's 26.2%. That's a 21-point swing when it comes to the three. The three ball is so important in today's game. Spacing, 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 which Boston, even with Porzingis out, they have the ability to go 5 out. And that's scary for a lot of teams because there's so much space on the court. There's so much space. And when Porzingis comes back, when he comes back, if he's, you know, 75-80% healthy, he really unlocks their offense because as opposed to, we see a lot of teams now go to like a high pick and roll. Porzingis isn't rolling. He's popping out to 27 feet and he's letting it fly because he's 7'3". He can get his shot over anybody. And if the offense is kind of stagnant, he's one of the best post players in the NBA this year. He can get his little jump, post hook, post fade over anybody. And even when he's been sidelined, Al Horford comes in and he's one of the best. You know, he's one of the best defenders at this point in his career due to his basketball IQ, how good he uses how good he uses his hands, how he can shift his weight when setting screens, how he can set angles when it comes to like a Gortat screen or when it comes to just perfectly timed pick and pop threes as opposed to a pick and roll. He can still work the mid range. There were many times in game 1 where it looked like they were just they as in Cleveland were just giving the switch, and then you'd end up with Darius Garland on Al Horford, and they dump it down, and Al Horford would either swing past it or just take advantage of a smaller defender. Like it's not rocket science. It's a math game. We know what Boston's gonna do. They've been the same team for all 64 of their wins. They're gonna live and they're gonna die by the 3-point line. Now, I'm still one of the philosophy of the three ball is very, very, very important, but it's not your be all end all. You still need players that can get into the mid range and get 2 feet in the paint and finish. And we saw Jaylen Brown do that in game 1. 12 for 18, 4 for 6 from 3. Like he was a man on a mission. And that's what led to this 25-point win. Like I will not be shocked if Boston sweeps Cleveland because when as fantastic as Donovan Mitchell is, when he leaves the court, it's like Cleveland has no help. They have no answer. They don't know what to do. They're like, oh, Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, let's do a high pick and roll, and Darius will try and get a switch and then do a step back three or a tough pull up elbow jumper. There's so many things that Boston does well that they're gonna give damn near any team in the East hell due to their core's been together so long they know who wants the ball in what spots and all their pieces fit together. Now they're not all healthy now because due to Porzingis' injury. And if Jared Allen would have played, do I think he makes up for a 25-point swing? No. But I do think it's not a testament. What's the word I want to think of? It's kind of like how it's a babyer version of Minnesota because you have these 2 7-foot. You have Jared Allen, great defensive player, rim protector, glass cleaner. Then you have Evan Mobley, who's a fantastic on-ball defender who can also help in your short roll game, who can space the floor, shoots the three good enough. He's a Swiss Army knife when it comes to that team. So it's a babyer version of Minnesota because you have Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's Cavs star, Anthony Edwards Minnesota star. You have the two bigs. You have good wing defenders, and Isaac Okoro, and then you have your bench scorer in Karis LeVert who didn't play well on Tuesday. But it's a babyer version East-West. But they just ran into a buzzsaw. And I would have felt the same way if Orlando would have beat Cleveland in Game 7. Boston is just too good for any of their first 2-round teams. Their playoffs doesn't start until round 3. in which they're either going to play a Knicks team that is team friendship, heart, and determination and will, or a Pacers team that loves offense just as much as Boston does. Well, I'm going to stop rambling now. This was. It didn't need to be as long as in depth due to it was a 25-point win. There's nothing really much more to say other than Boston made it rain from three. Well, that's all I have for that's all I have for you guys in this video. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. Link will also be in the description below. Uh, like I said, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Lawson Turner for the Cover 2 Podcast, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.